You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the March 4th meeting of the LaPorte County Parks and Recreation Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and call the County Park Board meeting for March 4th to order. Can I have a roll call?
Michelle, not here. Jim?
Here.
Mike?
Here.
Ron?
Here.
Mary?
Here.
Nick is not here, and Mary now.
Here.
Okay, and Nick is trying to sign on.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Sure.
We'll see.
To sign on.
I'm leaving them blank.
Blank for now. Okay. Let's go ahead and stand and say the pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. If you want to take that go ahead and start. We're going to have a chance to look at the agenda and have any questions about the agenda or additions or subtractions. Okay, can I have a motion to approve the agenda as written?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. And the minutes from last meeting, any questions? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move they are approved, I move they are approved as written.
Okay, and a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Public comment. Any public comment? Hearing no comment. Hearing no public comment, let's move to the financial report. Any questions about the financial report?
You should have gotten general ledger, each time sending those out before.
Once I read on that. Hearing no questions, can I have a motion to approve the financial report? So moved. And a second?
Second.
All in favor? Ayes have it. Okay, administrative report. Jared?
The balloon project update, I sent it out by email today, but I also made a copy of that. I will, there are going to be, so I met with DNR about this project, and they had more detailed drawings as far as where the new trails potentially would go, where the crossings were. There are some places where existing trail exists, but we're going to have to abandon those trails due to the way these the way the construction is and the way the right-of-ways are. We can't, oh, there's somebody's in.
All right.
Are you there? Hey, there's Michelle. You got it.
All right.
If it throws her.
You may be frozen, but we're here.
Are you there?
Hi guys, sorry.
That's all right. All right.
Is that
You
one?
don't even want to know.
Well, it's our end was not working well either, so.
Yep.
We just started. We're on the superintendent's reports. So as far as the balloon, I'm talking about the balloon project, Michelle. But there are areas where we can't put trail, right? In that the stream, where the stream goes, you can't put trail there unless it's a crossing, and those are removed from their right-of-ways and their things. So there's going to be like 2 crossings in that stream. And then, but there, right now, currently, there are trails that run right next to that stream, and then, too close to the stream and the property line, where that part of that trail is going to have to be abandoned, right? The idea is we're going to hopefully have about as much trail added as we take out with the new property and the trail going up through that property. And I think, for the most part, the quality of the trail is going to be a little better than what we have out there right now.
When you said there were 2 crossings, are they like a bridge?
So that is up for discussion, and the designers, the engineers there's several options. They had just crossings, and I said that won't work with horses and bikes, if the water's up, it's just.
Like go down into the water.
Yeah, so I said, I don't think that's gonna work. We have to have something, and it's gotta be something that's gonna support horse traffic and bike traffic and hiking traffic, and they understand that. So we can work together on getting something that's gonna work. I said, I don't care if it doesn't have to be some big fancy multi-million-dollar bridge to cross the stream. I mean, as long as it's functional.
Right.
Out there in the woods, it's functional, it allows the water when it's flowing heavily to go through, and we're not gonna have problems with it. So this is a preliminary design.
Gotcha.
This is what they're submitting to the regulatory agencies to try to get moving forward with this. I did ask them how they thought this would go with the regulatory agencies, because you've got Army Corps of Engineers, you've got IDEM, you've got all these places that have seen some cuts and some personnel cuts and things like that, and they said they have been prioritizing these projects or these type of projects. There's no federal money involved in this project. There's no, so hopefully things won't get bogged down in Army Corps of Engineers and IDEM and things like that. We'll see. So that's a preliminary design. When I get him, I asked him to make me a map that showed the trail, existing trail and proposed trail on it, but I will share that when I get him. So.
It sounds like there's a field trip in the making.
Yeah, there will be. And they also have on that map trees over 10 inches that will have to be removed and taken down. So, you can see where those will be. And I said in that email, if you read it today, this afternoon, there is some collateral damage. No doubt, anytime you do a project like this, I mean, this part of the stream that's over here on the western portion, it's where the stream used to be years ago, but it's now, there's just woods there. So yes, there's going to be some collateral damage. We're going to have some public meetings so people understand that.
Right.
We're going to be taking down some plants and trees that you're going to be like, oh, why they have to do this? But it's, when you look at the drainage ditch as it is now compared to what we're going to have when it's completed, I think people 5 years from now after the project's done are going to be like, what a beautiful woods, as opposed to, man, that drainage ditch really looks like.
Yeah, and I think it's similar with Lord when we had the storm damage. It's like, oh my goodness, what happened? They just kind of ripped it up, and then 5 years later, it's like, ooh,
There's lots more stuff.
yeah. So I think it'll be okay.
You think we'll need to plant anything?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
In that plan I sent you, there's all kinds of, there's each type of these habitat types, it tells you how much is going to be put in, and trees, and so like if you look at this, the magenta, the kind of the red, that's actually field right now, and it's going to be planted to forest. So they will be putting potted plants, however tall that is, whether it's a 2-foot tall potted, and some whips, bare root stuff, but their success rate goes up with the potted stuff. So some of it will be potted, some of it will be that. But yeah, so I mean, there's a whole list of that, and I know I just sent this out there, and you haven't had a chance to
I
read
did
it.
not.
There's-
I read it, but I didn't.
Yeah, there's prairie planting, and it tells all the different plants that are going to go in there. And again, proposed, but if it's approved by regulatory agencies, this is the direction it's headed. So.
And then, would there be an opportunity to have like a salvage day?
Yeah, we talked about that. I think at the public meeting, I think that's something they can try to work with DNR on. But they get it lined out where plants need to be moved or removed, and maybe taken and planted somewhere else, that we can work with some volunteers to try to get some of that done before they just come in there.
There's a couple of local groups that I think would be interested.
Yeah, and I'm sure we can try to get master gardeners and some other groups like that to see if we can organize something on that. Any other questions on that? Electric vehicle grant. So I ordered the chargers, working on a public charger, which can come whenever, it doesn't have to be here with the vehicles, but the vehicles are still sitting at the plant, done, but they're, waiting to ship them out. I got an email from them today saying he'll be checking into it again to see when they were going to ship out. It was supposed to ship out within 2 weeks, about a week and a half ago, so it'll probably wait till the last day. But those two trucks, then they have to go to the plant then, or to the dealer, they have to put in like a bed liner and, the other things that we ordered on, and then they come to us after that. So, okay. Trails master plan update. We have a meeting scheduled at the Wanata Town Hall on Tuesday, March 25th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. And that's another public meeting. So public, we're trying to get the south part of the county involved and give them an opportunity where they don't have to come all the way up north to attend one of these. So that's our next meeting. Please come. And I'd like to see us get more people at that meeting than we had here at Redmond, just to prove that the South County people are interested in what they're doing. So we'll be pushing out some information on that on Facebook and everything else. But March 25th at 5:30 p.m. at the Wanata Town Hall. So Canada Lodge generator. You'll see there was an increase in the cost there. We had one vendor who did it, and then that was back in October before all the purchasing shut down. So we had to wait until spring to get it. Kind of came and got it approved, and then when I went back to him, he said, well, the price actually went up by $2,000 some dollars. But anyway, so that put the other vendor cheaper than him. And his price was, their price was $37,954, and at the last meeting you guys approved the lower price, but if you agree, we can go ahead and approve that the higher the increase tonight. The council approved the transfer of the money to the account to purchase this. We can do that under old business or something. Or you do it.
You want to do that right now?
Yes.
So can I have a motion to approve the increase purchase of the generator?
So moved.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. We'll go with the higher price. We've already got that.
Yeah, it's the lowest price vendor now, but it's higher than it was.
Yes, okay. Go ahead.
Canada Lodge furnace and AC. So we've got 2 units here, both commercial units, as old as the building, which is 2002, 2001, 2002. Both are starting to have issues, and we need to replace them. I'm working on getting pricing. What we would like to do is go with a unit that is like a residential unit, but as big as a residential unit as you use, because this is a pretty big space and cost was. The furnace and AC guys don't think that would be a problem. The reason I want to do that is because we'd like to get them away from the mice sitting outside. It's constantly battle with mice getting into there and showing things out. And I think these units are really big for this space. It's up really quick. They're probably not the most efficient. But it's looking like they're going to be about install price about $15,000 a piece. We have them laying down the funds that we've kind of saved up over the last several years. That's what we're using for the generator as well. So I will have more on that at the next meeting, but looking to try to replace those and see what we can do to get at least one of them in a new unit where we're going to have issues with supply and parts or things like that. And then lastly, the Rolling Prairie Property Master Plan update. I met with the consultant and the engineering firm. And we're setting up a meeting to meet out there with the the planning part of their, the engineering firm to look over the site and kind of get that ball rolling. So when that happens, I'll send out an email to everyone Scott, that they come agree. Maintenance construction report, they've been, busy. They painted, or stained the wainscoting out here in the hallway this past week, working on maintenance on equipment, vehicles, you name it, they're doing, water tests still. We all went to, actually went here, the health department came out and gave us Narcan training, or they gave us Narcan to have in each park. So just in case something ever happens and we're trained and available to hopefully not to have to save what's on this side, but you never know. So all of our full-time staff and our part-time person in the office are trained for that.
Is that in the office, like staff would need, the office would need to be open for that to be available?
Yeah, I mean, right now, yes.
Sure.
She said they're working on potentially having it where it would be available with like the AEDs, but that's not doable right now. It's supposedly this Narcan now, you can take it and it wouldn't affect you. The only time it has any effect on anybody is if they are actually physically overdosed. It's a nasal spray, it's not a needle, it's just a nasal spray you put up in there. But it only affects the brain when it's overdosed. So, assured us that there's no, you're not going to hurt somebody, by getting it accidentally. She said actually a lot of times that, that's the first protocol on scene if somebody's, they suspect somebody overdosing, they get it right away. It's just the first thing they do, first responders. So anyway, and then we've got a couple staff that still need to be trained in CPR because they're new and don't have it. But then once they're trained, all of our full-timers will be trained in CPR as well. So, and AED. Other than that program report, they've been busy. Tomorrow they've got, they're partnering with the Soil and Water to do a marathon. They're all the high school competition where they all come in and do that here. So we're staying busy with that. And so
Staff are always busy.
yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Any questions on the park counts or anything so far? Okay, let's go to the standing committee reports. Executive committee does not have a report. Budget committee?
No report.
Personnel committee?
Nothing.
Okay.
Can I mention, I do want to mention something on budget committee real quick.
Okay.
And this is new, but something we need to think about for this next budget cycle is I believe we need an overtime budget. We've never had one, and it's something that, especially with our caretaker position going away, we're not going to have him to go out on weekends and things like that. Our full-time staff many times come in on the weekends to help plow with an electrical issue, whatever, you name it. If there's an issue here and we're trying to do that, they come in all hours of the day and 7 days a week. And we've never had an overtime budget. They're given comp time. I believe that's going to, eventually, that's going to get to the point where the guys, they're going to be off an awful lot. But they're new right now, so they don't have any leave time, right? But once they start getting 2-3 weeks of vacation and all that comp time, we're going to be, and I also just think it'd be best to give them the option. They can use the extra money and when they have to come in, they deserve that. So I talked to Commissioner Hollifield today about it, and he understood and agreed that we can, at least pursue this for the next budget cycle, which will start in the middle of summer here. And so
It's a good incentive for staff as well. It's kind of a nice reward when they're putting in extra effort and time.
yeah, so.
Property committee.
Has no report.
Okay. Planning committee.
No.
Nothing. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay, other than, yeah, I mean, as far as the planning committee, you know, we met at the nature center, so I don't know, Michelle, if you want to mention a little bit about that, but, you know, go ahead if you, at the nature center when we looked at the expansion.
Oops, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said, if you wanted to mention a little bit about the meeting and looking at the nature center, you know, for the expansion of the nature center.
Yes, there was, I think there's a lot of potential there, and to get the space, I believe her name is April?
Yeah,
For April, yes, and she has the kids there from school. Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of potential there. It's very choppy now, but I think there's potential. You could break it up, and I think it could definitely house more kids. And
yeah. And so we've got some, Don put together some preliminary photos and drawings here for the board to look at. Haven't been able to get those out. I think, yeah, I don't know if they went out with the packet or not. But,
Yeah.
so, you know, there's some drawings there, and you know, we'll talk about in the new business again, but I just wanted to mention here that we did have a meeting, Commissioner Holiday was there, and I think we all think it's a good way to look at trying to make some more room and space without going too big, honestly. So,
You know, the one thing, I was there for that meeting, and the roof line for the building is rectangular, and then the space is sit on an angle at 90 degrees to that, so it's not, so you have all this wasted space. It's good outdoor space, but it's not very usable. So the plan is tentatively to take the roof line and make that the outside of the structure as well. And so we add a whole lot more space for not a lot of investment. The cool part is almost all of it can be done in-house. We have very talented maintenance staff. I can't really help volunteer for that. So it's going to be, it'll be a lot of work, but I think it'll make a huge improvement on the space that we have.
and we've done this before I got here. You know, I got here about 10 years ago. 2 of those corners were added on to, and you can kind of see if you go in there and see how much room that added on. We're looking at adding on one more full corner and then part of it done. So,
I think it's going to be very a good addition to our facility out there. Okay. Any other questions on the space? Okay, let's go to the Rules Committee. Anything?
There's no report.
Okay. Old business, I don't see any old business there. And new business. Can you talk a little bit more about the space?
yeah, so what I'm requesting now is for us to just kind of pursue costs. Don's already kind of looking at some of that, but pursue costs and to try to seek funding for this project. The Park Foundation is very interested in helping with this project and seeing what kind of ideas we have. Our next meeting there is in April, so for the Park Foundation. So my hope is that we can kind of convince them that this is very much needed and that you know, money is, it'll be worth the money that's put into it, and hopefully it can help us fund it. If not, I don't know, I have to pursue a grant or see when Don comes up with some preliminary funding, you know, ideas on how much it's going to cost. I think that will kind of dictate where are we have to look for that money. Funds are going to be tight in the county. I can tell you that. You know, we're talking to council members during the meetings, and they're very concerned about the property tax reduction and things like that. You know, at the state level, because that is going to reduce if that happens. No matter how much that it's reduced by, it's going to affect counties, cities, towns, you know, townships, all of it. So obviously very concerned about that, but hopefully we can get funds, you know, private funds and maybe a grant or 2 or whatever we have to do. So my request here is just for the board to agree that this is something we want to look into and go ahead and look at funding and see if we can find funding to do this.
So can I have a motion to allow Jeremy to seek additional funding for the nature center improvements?
So moved.
Okay, and a second. Okay, all in favor? I say that was a good one. Okay. Board and staff comments.
Our new newsletter came out this past week, so look at the website, check your email if you're on our email list. You should have gotten that. Some good programs coming up for the spring, and that goes until May. So next couple of months. Lots of good stuff they're planning, some new stuff, some of the old favorites, but check it out.
Okay.
Any big stuff you want to highlight on that one, or is that got the all of May on there? Or
Yeah, it's got
so May the 4th is on there.
May the 4th is on there. That was,
Wagon ride out at Bloom County Park, and Star Wars themed night hike and things like that. So and look at that. And that's
Actually on May 2nd.
May 2nd, but it's not. So it's not May the 4th. We're with you. Last time it was, but it's May 2nd.
well, we're saying that it's May the 4th on the 2nd.
Okay. So any other big ones?
I was pretty impressed by the number of people that liked our leprechaun.
Oh yeah. So we're doing a leprechaun night hike
Yep,
on
next Friday night.
Friday night.
Yep.
Okay, so look at that if you're interested. These night hikes have been going well, but I think they've had well over 300 likes on Facebook, which is good.
That's amazing.
We have had that many show up at some of these night hikes, so I mean, spring's here, people are going to want to get out, and I look for that to probably be a really, really good busy night.
The concern is that the leprechauns are very crafty.
Right. Yeah, this isn't quite like the one they do out at Roman Curry, but it's probably going to go find this a little easier than finding the prices aren't as good either.
It's
The
just,
gold coins.
it's the process.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
I don't have any other comments.
Okay. Any other comments, board, staff, public? Okay. Not hearing any comments, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? And second?
Second.
All in favor? Meeting is adjourned. Next meeting is
April Fool's Day.
yeah, ready on Hunts Park.